Hello, and welcome to Oso Libre this month for July 2020. I'm Michael Barreto. This month we have some exciting things planned for you as always, but we're going to start it off with a new feature called Wine Time with Janine. Have a look at this.
Welcome to Wine Time with Janine, the show where you can call in and get all your questions answered about wine. Be sure to call in 805-238-3378. Now let's go to the phones. Oh my gosh. Wine Time with Janine.
Hey, this is Larry from Tulare, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just kind of trying to figure out, what do you guys mean by a Bordeaux-style blend?
Hi Larry, thanks for calling and great question. So in order for a wine to be considered a Bordeaux, it has to be grown in the Bordeaux region of France. But in the New World, we try to give you a little bit of sense of what that wine would be like with traditional Bordeaux varieties grown here. So that would be Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, etc. I hope that answers your question. Thanks for calling. Wine Time with Janine.
Hi Janine, soy Verónica del Valle Pérez López, pero me puedes llamar así. Hoy voy a cocinar capra roast en el asador o en el oven o afuera, no sé, como sea el clima, depende. ¿Qué me recomiendas de vino?
Hi, thanks for calling. So it sounds like she is going to serve a top round roast and she wants to know what wine to pair with it. So I would suggest our estate blend, Rojo del Patron. It's 50-50 Cab and Primitivo. Thanks for calling in.
Y si no,
Oh, go ahead.
y si no lo hago el asado, ¿puedo tomarme el vino solo?
Absolutely. You can drink that wine all by itself.
Gracias.
Thank you. Cheers. Wine Time with Janine.
Hi, this is Brittany from Buffalo. I was just on your website and I saw that you guys had also got a quixotic. Is that true?
Hi, Brittany. Thanks for calling. Well, it just so happens that today we are releasing our newest vintage of our Quixotic, which is 100% estate cab. So starting today, you can purchase it on the web store.
Oh my gosh, awesome. And what is your favorite food to eat with that wine?
Well, you know, cab 100% is great to pair with red meats. Or, you know, if it's late at night and you want to have a little bit of chocolate with it, that goes good as well.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Janine. I'm going to go put my order in now.
Sounds good. Brittany, take care. Wine Time with Janine.
Hello there, this is Tony from Saskatoon. I was just driving by your vineyard and, don't really want to get into it too much, but I just see a lot of green, lush growth out there and was wondering, maybe when you guys are doing your shoot fitting this season, maybe you could have been a little bit more aggressive and worked on keeping the crop level a little bit more in balance. And, there's just so many things viticulturally that you could do out in the vineyard to do it a lot better.
Tony.
And I don't understand why someone who has
Tony.
this much experience...
Tony, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but did you have a question about wine for me today?
Oh, yeah. What do you think about this year's crop? I'll take my answer off the air. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. But the crop looks great as far as I can see. Thanks. Wine Time with Janine.
Hi, this is Penny from Poughkeepsie. I just got my wine club shipment, and I really want to actually hold on to some of the bottles this time and lay them down. But how should I go about doing that?
All right, Penny. Well, great question. When you're laying your wines down, you want to make sure that they are in a cool and dry place. I don't know if you have a basement where you live or something of the sort. You want it to be around 60-65 degrees. But yeah, try to avoid any areas of sun, and definitely don't store it in your garage where there's no insulation.
Oh, good to know. Thank you so much, Janine.
You're welcome. All right, take care. Thanks for calling. All right, you guys. Well, that about wraps it up with Wine Time with Janine. Thanks for your participation, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Thanks, Janine. That was very enlightening. I'm sure we all enjoyed it. Next, we're going to go out to Chris, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the Oso Libre Charity Foundation, Por Vida. Watch this.
Hey, good morning, you guys. I'm Chris Bear here at Oso Libre today. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about our charity, which is called Oso Libre Por Vida. Linda and I started it 15 years ago, about 7 years or so after we bought this raw piece of land. And it was very important to us coming from LA to bring with us some of the things that we'd done in our previous business ventures, which is to give back. And this cow that I'm standing next to, which we call Caltrina, it's a play on words because Katrina is the female Dia de los Muertos figure that everybody's used to seeing, which is skeleton. We put a tweak on it, called her Caltrina, and she represents part of what we are so strong about here. If you look at the front of her head, it says Por Vida on her. We had a wonderful artist from Cambria come in, hand paint and create all of the spines and give this a Day of the Dead, a Dia de los Muertos look, because it's one of the biggest celebrations that we celebrate here once a year. And then you'll see the heart, and that sort of represents for us that Por Vida is sort of the heart of what we do here, besides make wine and grow vines, wines, and Angus. What we do to find money for this and fund this charity is all of our events here. We give our tasting fees on Saturdays. We give all the profits from our events. We have a wonderful drink, which many of you know, called Solera, which is our bottled, aged, layered wine, which has everything in it from a 2005 up to a 2017 wine in it. It comes in a growler, and we give it to our wine club members. They buy the bottle, and all of the money from that, the proceeds from that, go to our charity. We also have the chips that you've seen that we give out to all of our new members and other visitors on occasion. And once that chip is given out, when the chip is returned, we give $5 to our charity causes. And now the causes that we care about are cancer, number one. One of the biggest ones is the Lynn Cohen Foundation in Los Angeles, ovarian and breast cancer center, to help find a fight for the disease. And then another one of our most important things is the support of our armed forces. And in that we give to, of course, wounded warrior. We find that to be one of the best use of money and help to people who have come back from serving their country. Another one is the Humane Society, with an incredible amount of events up here in San Luis Obispo, from the Humane Society to Wine for Paws and all those things that are related to the protection of our animals. And then finally, our fourth cause is abused children, and otherwise the needs of children who can't defend for themselves. And that's because when I was in Los Angeles, I had a previous company, construction, where I would build some of the centers for some of these abused children networks, and I became very interested and passionate about it. So those are the four main causes. We also have our wood staves, our walnuts, our license plates, and so many other things that we can use to contribute to make sure we find creative ways to give back. This year, because of the coronavirus, we've given so far 75% of our donations have gone for causes for the front line that are helping to fight this coronavirus. But after this is passed, God willing, we'll move back to those four major causes that are important to us. And I hope that I haven't missed too many things, because I could probably go on, as we know, for a long time about this, but I just wanted to give you sort of an overview as to Oso Libre Por Vida, the charity that is so important to all of us here at our ranch. Thank you.
Well, I'm starting to get a crick in my neck and a pain in my back. It must mean that it's time for the news with Ashley. Take it away.
Now the news from Adelaide and beyond for the week of July 4th, 2020. Hello all, Ashley here. Our top story is the release of our 2016 Quixotic Estate Cabernet Sauvignon, the follow-up to our 2015 release. This wine was aged for over 36 months in French oak barrels. 2016 was a little warmer for us here at the ranch than 2015. This comes through in the finished wine as more fruit expression and softer tannins. It is a great representation of the terroir of Oso Libre Ranch. I am quite excited about it, if you can't tell. Let's have a taste, shall we? Oh, so good. If you would like to taste this wine for yourself, you can order a bottle or two. Or if you are planning on being in the Paso Robles area, call or make an appointment online to visit our tasting room. We are currently open 7 days a week. Now we're going to check in with our roving reporter, Quentin. He has a report on 4th of July festivities taking place in SLO County. Take it away, Quentin.
Well, this week is the 4th of July, and I decided to take some action fireworks shots. So, have a look at this.
All right, here we are in Pismo Beach. It's looking like we have no fireworks here. All right, moving on here. We made it to Morro Bay. Also, looks like no fireworks.
That is some crap reporting there, Quentin. In case you haven't seen in the news the last few months, all the fireworks shows have been canceled. And plus, the 4th of July is not until tomorrow night.
I know, I just wanted to film it because I knew the results were going to be the same, so I just wanted to make my report timely.
Well, there you have it, folks. Next is the weather. Talk about roller coaster weather trends, Hyde. Highs this week have ranged all the way from 68 to 98 for the daily highs. Umbrellas one day and heaters the next. Now for a quick peek at our Zinfandel vine. Here's what it looks like today and 1 month ago. And now it is time for Ashley's opinion. This time I have something that really, really gets my goat. I mean, I am so fired up and so just enraged and mad about what we are going to talk about today. Ugh. I cannot see how any sane person in this entire planet cannot feel the same way. Gosh. Well, that is going to wrap it up for the news this month, and now it is time for Michael's cooking segment, Instant Pot Top Round Roast. I hope you enjoy it.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the kitchen here at Oso Libre. Although I might say today it's the laboratory, because we're trying something different. It seems like there's a common recurring theme of the top round roast, and what I'm trying to do is try different and unique ways of cooking it. Kind of like if you know anything about Portuguese people and the salt codfish bacalhau, they have cookbooks called 365 Ways to Cook Bacalhau. So what we're trying to do is just come up with new and unique ways for doing top round roast. So today I'm going to do a beef Barolo recipe, which is basically beef that's braised in Barolo wine. But today I'll be using Oso Libre wine, and instead of, my method of braising is going to be in an Instapot. And last time we used the sous vide device and we cooked it for, I believe, 19 hours. This time, our piece of meat that we have up front is frozen solid, and we will be cooking it. It's going to be cooked in the Instapot for an hour, but there's a little bit of prep time. What you need to really pay attention to, they say, oh, you do it all in one pot. And we will be doing it all in one pot, but it's going to take a couple turns of the pot for us to actually get it done. And so just to start off now, what we have is a top round roast that I pulled from the freezer just a little while ago. And one thing I did do, I didn't defrost it, but I did put it in a bowl and ran lukewarm water over it for about 10 minutes. And what that did, that allowed a little bit of pliability to come to the outside of the meat, softened it up a little bit, and that allowed it to take on seasoning. So I did salt and pepper this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown it on all sides, and then we'll move forward. So I have my Instapot. If you guys aren't familiar with these, this is my first time using one. So if anything goes wrong, you'll be able to watch it with me. It's got all sorts of nice buttons on it. I've turned it on the saute function. So this is actually acting as a pot on my stove. And so I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in here. Let that heat up. And what I'm going to do then is take this piece of meat and I'm going to brown it on all sides. Okay, about 12 minutes has gone by. We've taken the roast and we've browned it on all sides. There we go. And then I'm going to deglaze the bottom of the pan with a little bit of Carnal barrel sample. Now I got everything soft in the pot. So what we're going to do next is we're going to saute up some vegetables. A little bit of onion. Basically 1 onion and then equal amounts of celery and carrot. And just going to saute those, again using the saute function on the Instapot. We're going to get them a little soft. Okay, about 5 minutes has passed and we've just been sauteing the vegetables to get them a little soft and aromatic. That way when the cooking starts they release their flavors. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a can of diced tomatoes. That's going to go in, be the base for our sauce. And when we're done cooking the meat, this is going to end up being the our sauce, and we'll use an immersion blender and turn it into a nice thick sauce. So tomatoes are all stirred in. Next we're going to be adding the meat. Meat comes back. We want to nestle it in there so that it's on top of the vegetables but at the right height for a pressure cooker. And next comes the wine. So we're going to add enough wine to just kind of come about halfway up the roast. There we go. I can have a glass of that later. And we're now ready to start the 1 hour cook. You'll notice we've only used 1 pot. We did get 1 plate and a bunch of bowls and other stuff dirty, but we're only cooking in 1 pot. I'm also going to put a couple sprigs of rosemary on top, again for the aromatics of it, right there. And so I need to turn it off, cancel, and it is now off. Now it's time for the lid. So the lid is now on. I need to be sure that I have it sealed. And I'm going to come around to the other side. And we're going to go pressure cook. And we're going to do it for an hour. And pressure level. Okay, pressure level is high. So the pressure cook has started. The nice thing about it is when it finishes, if I'm not around, it goes to keep warm. And so then we'll check back on this in an hour and be ready to eat. See you then. We're going to be pairing this lovely dish with our 2015 Por Vida. It's going to go great with this, I can tell. Let me see if I can dismantle this properly. Got to walk around, take a look at the control panel. Like I said, when it finishes, it's keeping warm, but I'm going to hit cancel. And now the Instapot is off. For some reason, they always do it with a spoon on the internet because we're worried about it blowing up, but I'm going to hit the depressurize. Ooh. Okay, that's it. Let's open it up and see what we got. Pulling off the lid. And there it is. Smells good, looks good. I'll take the rosemary out. And what was frozen about an hour ago is now sitting here in this great juice. set it down there. You can see it took on some of the color of the wine. There we go. And voila. Now, the sauce. Just convert to sauce. There we go. Sauce. Now we're getting to plate up our meal. So simple enough. Take 2 cakes, like that for presentation. And then 3 pieces of beef. There. Just gonna put some sauce. There you go. Beef, I'd say beef Barolo, but beef Oso Libre style, braised in carnal. And then, like I said, we are going to pair it today with our Por Vida. Reason for that is the Movedra in it that kind of gives it a nice earthy characteristic. It's going to blend nicely with the sauce that we have on the meat. Por Vida is our blend of 3 red varieties grown on the property. Cabernet Sauvignon is the base, Primitivo, and then rounded out with Movedra. And so now I'm going to try the beef. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm impressed. Good flavor. And goes excellent with the wine. So if you have an Instapot, there's something new for you to try. I'm kind of impressed. I didn't think it would happen, but it did. So thanks for joining us this week in the lab, and we'll see you next time. Okay, it's been a long, hard road, but I think that is finally it for the top round roast. Unless anybody has any suggestions of anything that you want me to try, I'm open to suggestions. Email me, and if it fits, we'll fit into the next program. I'm thinking, though, summertime we'll probably end up doing something on the barbecue. That's what I'm thinking the next thing is, but probably a different cut this time. Okay, that is going to wrap it up for this month at Oso Libre for July. It's early in the month. I just want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. And we know these strange times that we're living in with COVID-19. Hope everybody is staying safe, and looking forward to seeing you here at the ranch in the near future. Please give us a call or go online, make a reservation. We'd love to see you. And we have some exciting things coming up in the fall, like a new wine club release and Harvest 2020. With the way the first part of the year is gone, who knows what's going to happen with the second part. See you next time. Thank you. Okay, so the news, take 1.
Take it away, Quentin.
Well, how come she has wine and I don't? That's just unfair. But, my report for this week, July 4th is this weekend, and let me tell you, I have some action shots for you. Take a look at this.
Well, Quentin, of course you don't have wine. You're only a temp reporter. Jeez, only the stars get wine.
So why doesn't Mike have wine then? That's all I'm saying. Come on now.